time, I'd like to call to order the September 14th, 2011 Zoning Commission meeting. Let the record show that Commissioners Howard Dalton and Susanna Zara Gradine are absent. All of the commissioners are present. Move along to item 3 on our agenda, acceptance of the September 14th, 2011 proposed agenda.
Motion.
A motion
Second.
by Milton Cluott, seconded by Julio Dumas to accept the agenda. Is there any opposition or discussion? Motion passes. Item 4, acceptance of the minutes of the August 10th, 2011 Zoning Commission meeting.
Motion. Second.
I have a motion by Milton Cluott, seconded by Bob Nance to accept the minutes of the August 10th, 2011 Zoning Commission meeting. Opposition or discussion? Motion passes. Item 5, public comment period. Anyone wishing to come up and address the commission on any item pertaining to the zoning commission, please come up, sign in. You will get your 3 minutes to speak. No one wishing to address the commission, so the initial public comment period is closed. Item 6, public hearing to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map for recommendation for approval or denial to the Ascension Parish Council. 6A, zoning review ID 2181.11 for Gonzales Memorial VFW Post 3693. Gentlemen.
Good evening. I'm Brent Gotro. I'm the commander of the VFW post here in Gonzales. And first of all, I'd just like to say thanks for having us up here first tonight. Thank you, Lance. I'm here tonight representing 300 VFW members locally and over 150 ladies auxiliary members in our post. We've been here in existence in Gonzales for over 50 years now. And we've been serving Gonzales and Ascension Parish community in many different ways. We supported many Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, the Fellowship Center, Jambalaya Festival Association, many worthwhile things in the past that we've worked very hard to support. All along for 50 years now, bingo has been our primary fundraiser, the way that we support everything that we do. Cancer research, things of that sort. Everything is a lot harder for everybody these days economically. So in the hunt for another way to stay viable in the community and to continue to support our causes both locally and nationally, we're asking that you approve our request to rezone so that we can enter into a business activity.
All right, comments or questions from commissioners? All right, well, I've got a question as far as the staff recommendation. Mr. Brock, you recommend to deny the rezoning request to mixed use based on the location of the property and spot zoning. Could you be more specific as to in regards to the location of the property and so forth?
Sure.
That's kind of general.
Yes, sir. The location based on infrastructure, the road, based on the location also because of the rural district that it is and the adjoining properties of residential single family. Based on that reason, that's why I made my recommendation.
Okay. All right. Once again, any comments or questions from commissioners? If not, then we'll open up the public hearing on this item. Anyone wishing to come up and address the commission on this, please sign in and you'll get your 3 minutes to speak. Yes, sir.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
I'm Jared Nolan, Junior Vice Commander of VFW 3693 here in Gonzales. As a veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom, I represent the younger membership of the VFW. We see, as Mr. Gotro had said, the bingo going away and us needing to financially support ourselves in the future. One of our chief concerns is membership and getting those younger members to come in and continue on the continued service of the other generations. And we feel like that this business venture would help us do that. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wish to address the commission on this item? If not, then the public comment period on this item is closed. Sir, you have any
I'd
any
just
further
like to add
comments
that-
you'd like to add?
Sure. Thank you. I'd just like to add that we are zoned residential where we're located, have been for the entire 50 years we've been there. But we do have a business running there. The VFW is a business. And we're planning on doing the same exact thing that we're doing today, to continue to run a business, to continue to further the work that we do. So there's no change, it's just another building to help us do what we do today. We are currently zoned to be a business in a residential area. That's all I have today.
Actually, you're non-conforming use. One time that property was zoned medium-intensity residential. It was changed through a petition. In fact, I think a couple of your members signed the petition to change it to rural zoning because of the flooding and the traffic or the infrastructure in the area and because of the amount of development that was taking place. But the VFW hall has been there long enough and has been operating as such. It was grandfathered in. So yours is a non-conforming use, which what you would do now, if getting this rezoned, would not be a non-conforming use, and would not be applicable under the rural zoning. Correct, Mr. Brock?
That's correct, yes, sir.
So, any other comments or questions from commissioners?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Sadley.
sir, and actually both of you, previous speaker as well, two quick issues. First, I'd like to thank you for your extreme patience for having to wait so long and being here toward the end of what has been a very long afternoon. And without sounding patronizing or in any way corny, I'd like to thank you folks for your service, your military service. I have a question. Is there any possibility that you guys could maybe sell your existing property and buy elsewhere in a mixed-use zone so that you can conduct the activities that you want to conduct? I realize this is creating, as you say, an economic hardship on you. Have y'all considered that or looked into it?
We have, and as you know, as a civic organization, I don't make the decisions, the body of the organization does. We've discussed these things, and the choice of moving away is mute. Nobody wants to do that. We have a good location, we like where we're at, and we're just hoping to be able to continue there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from commissioners? If not, what's the wish of the commission?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
I know
Mr.
we, in the motion thing and all discussion is closed, but may I beg the indulgence and I ask this gentleman one more question?
Go ahead, but I'm going to keep my stopwatch running. When it hits 2 minutes, if a motion isn't made, it will be a recommendation to the parish council to approve due to lack of action on the part of the commission.
You say you're going to continue doing what you're doing right now. It won't be any type of change of businesses in the new building.
No, the new business that we have planned is a mini storage business.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Dumas.
I mean, what the VFW does is a very important civic service to the community. And it really pains me to say
It's
this.
2 minutes, Mr. Dumas. You need to go ahead and make a motion in that 2 minutes, all right? This has been approved due to lack of action, or recommended approval to the parish council due to lack of action on the part of the commission. Sorry, gentlemen. Y'all want to sit there and not make a motion. You had 2 minutes to do it. Miss Manda, did I give the commission long enough, enough time to go ahead and make a motion one way or another? And they did not do it. Therefore, is it not a recommendation to the parish council to approve due to lack of action on the part of the commission?
I don't know by what authority, I do know you gave a notice, but I don't know by what authority you can impose that restriction on them, but,
That was told, we never had to come up with that as far as the zoning commission, but that was handed to me, was told to me during as the planning commissioner several years ago, that, yes, if the commission failed to act in a legitimate amount of time, it would constitute an approval and due to lack of action on the part of the commission.
but was this if it's discretionary and in your,
Well, you can
Chair.
check with Mr. Parrington, because he's the one that told me that.
well,
I mean,
certainly if they don't act, but there appears that everyone's trying to act at this time and.
Okay,
and there's some discussion
what's the
going on.
wish of the commission? I've also warned them. That constitutes, hey, it's time to make a motion, not get out there and make comment, make a speech. The time for speech making is over. The way you start the sentence off is, I move, or I make a motion, I offer a motion. That's after I say, what's the wish of the commission? That is how a commissioner needs to start a sentence. That's simple. It's not complicated. It's very simple.
No one's making a motion?
So a motion wasn't made. Now, maybe I am wrong, but Mr. Barrington did at one time tell me, hey, if you give them enough amount of time, it does constitute an act of approval on the part of the commission. Now, that was under the planning commission. I always assumed it was the same thing as far as the zoning commission.
Maybe you just want to give them one more shot. Maybe someone will make a motion and we can.
If I gave them one more shot, you think they'd go ahead and take it and make the motion?
I'm not a betting woman, sir.
I mean, I can go ahead and do that, but I mean, I think it's sad that when we have a commission where, your job is to make a motion, is to make a recommendation to the parish council, and everybody wants to sit there. So, the way I look at it, it's it's a recommend to approve due to lack of action on the part of the commission.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Dumas.
if you would have given me an opportunity to finish my sentence.
You
I would
had
have made a
ample
motion.
opportunity, Mr. Dumas. All you had to do was say, I move, or I'd like to offer a motion. You heard me tell Mr. Kluwat when he began talking, I was going to keep the clock running.
Switch
I mean,
it off.
Now, Ms. Banda has said I can give y'all another chance. Is somebody going to make a motion, or are they going to make a speech? That's a simple question.
I merely intended to explain my motion before I made it.
Make your motion, Mr. Dumas. You don't have, you want to explain a motion, it's rebuttal. You still want to discuss. We're not in that mode with it. Make a motion.
I don't need to do that, thank you.
Well, unless legal counsel can come up with a reason for it, then I still look at it as,
I just don't understand why you wouldn't let Mr. Dumas elaborate, because especially in matters zoning, it's important to articulate your reasons for recommending approval or recommending denial.
simply make the motion first and then you can do that. Is that so hard?
Is that a rhetorical question, or do I need to answer that?
Well, how, it's not difficult. What's the wish of the commission? Make a motion. You have a motion to offer, Mr. Dumas? Make your motion.
As I was saying earlier, the VFW provides a very important civic service to the community, and as much as it pains me to do this, the fact of the matter is that this is a spot zoning. Fact of the matter is that it is inconsistent with the surrounding land uses and the surrounding zoning. And unfortunately, as difficult as it is, I'm going to have to make a motion to recommend denial of the application for those reasons.
To the Parish Council.
To the Parish Council, that is. That's all I meant to say. I'm so sorry it offends you.
It's not offensive, Mr. Dumas. I simply asked you
Oh,
to
I'm
make
so
a motion
sorry
ahead of
to
time.
upset you.
You could have gone ahead and stated your reasons after the fact. Just make a motion.
You have a motion.
So you're offering that as a motion, okay?
I thought I clearly stated that I
Then-
made a motion.
Well, then there's no second, so.
Second.
All right, I have a motion to recommend denial to the Parish Council by Julio Dumas, seconded by Steve Barrow. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Kluwat.
when you say a mini warehouse, in other words, what type of mini warehouse? Is this going to be big for boats and stuff? In other words, kind of give me a little idea.
Right.
Because we're stuck in this, I'm going to be honest with you, sir. I got a brother with both legs lost, and he's a veteran.
Yes.
But then also I got a law saying here that is spot zoning. And I sympathize with the young American and women that defend our country. And it's hard for me as a human being to not put that in the play of my decision. So if you can give me a little bit better idea of what you're going to actually put there, I sure would appreciate it.
Okay, there'll be 2 buildings side by side on the road frontage that are just mini storage buildings, 10 by 10, 10 by 15, just like you see all over the parish. Back behind those 2 buildings, there will be a boat storage building, a little bit taller than the rest, but behind all the rest. That's our plan.
Thank you.
Is there any more discussion on the motion amongst commissioners? If not, then there's a vote. Mr. Barrow,
Yes.
Mr. Dumas,
Yes.
Mr. Nance,
No.
Mr. Kluwat,
No.
Mr. Sadley,
Yes.
Mr. Esnard. Yes. Motion passes 4-2. The motion is to recommend denial to the Parish Council. That's simply a recommendation, gentlemen. Thank you. Item 7, public hearing to amend the Ascension Parish Unified Development Code, LDC Section 17-2038, Small Plan Unit Development SPUD, Plan Unit Development PUD, and Traditional Neighborhood Development TND Overlay Zone to create subsection H. Any site designation as a historical site on the Ascension Parish zoning map for recommendation to accept or deny to the Parish Council as per resolution adopted by the Parish Council August 4th, 2011. Mr. Compton, you're up.
This was put in to ensure that if the council wasn't going to remove the overlay, which as I understand is going to happen, that this was a backup mechanism to exempt historic sites from the PUD, SPUD, T&D overlay. Once again, we said we were going to try multiple angles of attack to ensure that we did not hinder the economic development of that project. So this was a public hearing to amend the code to add an exemption for historic sites from the PUD, SPUD, T&D overlay.
Who was we? When you said we were trying multiple methods of attack. Who's we?
We, the parish.
We, the parish. Okay,
Right.
because I know it wasn't we, the commission.
This is a resolution from the council, correct?
I caught your performance. Okay. I know where it's actually. I'm sorry, I don't really. It's a resolution where they say they're requesting it, but after our recommendation went forward to them, I was still kind of shocked to see it on the agenda. So as of now, I really don't look at it as a request anymore. It looks like it's more of a demand now. Mr. Sally, you had something you
Well,
wanted to add?
thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to comment about your comment about we. I was at that particular meeting, and all I heard was our planning director state this idea about multiple prongs of attack. Now, I can't get into the heads, obviously, of the parish council to figure out, once they voted to send this resolution, does that give them, we've heard some talk tonight about authorship, which just shocks me. That they were authoring that when they were making this resolution, or is it Mr. Compton that desires to have the multiple prongs of attack to be sure this economic development occurs? I guess I just remain confused.
No more than I, since actually our bylaws came under attack. I don't think the code was meant for the zoning commission to be able to put something in a subcommittee and kill it. If the council wants to act on a code change, the code is written that you make a recommendation to the commission, and the commission makes a recommendation back to you based on their findings. Well, where are we supposed to get our findings? Seems to me like subcommittee is a place where the commission gets its findings. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. So,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Satterley?
for the record, who was the author of the quotation that you just read into the record?
That was the planning director, Ricky Compton.
Thank you.
I didn't know we sent things to subcommittee to kill them. Last time I checked, we try to actually work on items, do something with them. So I don't know. Well, this is up for public hearing, so I guess we'll go ahead and we'll open it up to the public. Anyone wishing to come up and address the commission on this item, please sign up and you'll get your 3 minutes to speak.
Good evening, gentlemen. I just want to review what happened about the situation that we just went through with this overlay and the concern about it. As I understand the motion and the acceptance that's going to go forward is that if tomorrow night the council decides to remove the entire PUD overlay wherever it exists, including the hummus house, then Mr. Kelly goes forward. And everyone else in the district that has been under this overlay is removed and is free as well from the PUD overlay. But if the council decides to, quote, lift the PUD overlay off of the historical sites only, which they could do with an amendment, then Mr. Kelly's going to be back before this commission. I do have to say that I have attended subcommittee meetings and been allowed to take part in discussion and review code. But it is sad to me that our planning director refuses to take part in these discussions. And he could come and bring his knowledge and understanding and enlighten us all, but he refuses. And this has been a great problem. So I really appreciate if our planning director would attend the meetings, if there's an issue that he has something to talk about. I'm glad that this item is again on the agenda. I hope that this will be soon put to rest. And I appreciate your patience with this issue. It's been long and drawn out, and we're all tired of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, if this goes forward tonight as a recommendation from y'all, what I'd like to request that y'all do it fairly for all the residents. If you're gonna lift the overlays, take it off for a resident as well as a business. It's the fair and just thing to do. Earlier, we heard testimony in a previous meeting. People got up and talked about what was going on. We talked about people in the parish. The staff had knowledge for months of what was going on, and nothing was done to change the law. We heard people testify that it's a great project. I think it is also. But part of the issue is the words they were talking about is the law. I wouldn't want to have been sitting in y'all's seat tonight. Y'all don't make the law. Y'all merely decide whether it meets the code or not, and y'all had a tough decision tonight. I would not have wanted to been in y'all's shoes. But nevertheless, I'd appreciate it if y'all could see y'all way to send this and take it off equally to business and the residents. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'll make this brief. It's been a long night. I too believe that what's good for one should be good for all, so if you remove it for one, it should be removed from all. I've seen the emails and the scan, and I know that some notification went back as early as February of this year. So February, March, April, May, June, July. So there was 4 months' notice, and nothing was ever acted on until tonight. So just to reiterate, what's good for one is good for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Billy Aguilar. I think this is really a moot point. I think tomorrow night that the council is going to remove the PUD TND overlay in the entire parish. You can either send this with acceptance or denial. It really doesn't matter. I think it'll all be removed tomorrow night. So this is really a moot point. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the commission? Sign up. No one else, then the public comment period is closed. Comments or questions from commissioners? No comments or questions from commissioners. What's the wish of the commission?
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Kluwat.
I'd like to make a motion to send resolution number 0804211 to the Ascension Parish zoning subcommittee for study and report back to this commission.
A motion to send this, when do you want them to report back? Do you want to set a time limit on it, or how do you want to do that, Mr.
No, sir, I do not want to put a time limit.
So when they come up with something, just make a report back to this commission?
Yes, sir.
All right, I have a motion by Milton Kluwat to send this to the zoning subcommittee, and when they come up with a resolution for it, to bring a report back to the commission, to full commission.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dan Savage. Discussion. No discussion, then we'll go ahead and vote. Mr. Barrow.
Yes.
Mr. Dumas.
No.
Mr. Nance.
Yes.
Mr. Kluwat.
Yeah.
Mr. Sadley.
Yes.
Mr. Esnard.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8, new business. Are there any items of new business that any of the commissioners want to bring up for the full commission? No. There's no items of unfinished business. Item 10, the zoning subcommittee report. Mr. Sadley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to thank Commissioner Kluwat in his motion for not putting a time constraint on us. And I say that for the following reasons. We did meet, Mr. Chairman, last month. We held our typical 1-hour meeting. Some folks there had to leave the meeting. We did have a quorum. I'm appreciative of that, but I'm sad, first of all, to report that we were still missing one commission, and I've taken your charge seriously here tonight. I actually already have, because you've charged it, as you said before, continue to be keeping absentee records. I'd also like to amplify a comment made by the public that I too would appreciate the planning director being there, because after we held the meeting, that individual was not there, but I received a rather lengthy email as to having reviewed the tape of the meeting as to what we should be doing or not doing. It becomes extremely difficult for me to continue to do my job when I don't have the proper input from all parties, commissioners, planning staff, planning director, et cetera, that I need. At least in that meeting, we covered about a third, maybe, of the problems that exist, which I can tell you, Mr. Chairman, are many in the historical overlay ordinance. I think some of the activities of this commission tonight, when I was in recusal, indicate that that ordinance needs some significant work. And therefore, it's probably going to take, frankly, several meetings just to get to it. And we already are backlogged with another item, as you know, on our agenda last time that wasn't even considered. And that was the small business ordinance. So we'll put them in the queue, this resolution, and we will get to them when we get to them. But I want to say, I resent the comments that things are sent to these subcommittees to kill them. I'm not there to kill anything. And I would just hope that type of language would just quit in this parish. We'll do our best, and I'll have a report again for you next time. Thank you.
Mr. Satterley, I know that you've got a number of items that your subcommittee is looking at. I just want to remind or once again call to attention the email that I sent to you about a review of the zoning subcommittee recommendations to the full zoning commission of 2009, which the historical site overlay, the small business or the neighborhood business overlay, those are two of those items. The subcommittee would go ahead and take up that audit or the review of all those recommendations. I know Mr. Brock has got the minutes from all the. You're not gonna have any subcommittee minutes for some reason, but there will be zoning commission minutes that the subcommittee can go ahead and review to at least give you an idea of what to look for. So if the subcommittee will take that up as it can, I appreciate that. Item 11, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
I have a motion by Commissioner Nance, seconded by Commissioner Kluwat. Objection to discussion? Nope. We're adjourned.